Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tripura Rahasya. This is our second session, and just to have a quick recap, we were talking about the story told by Hemalekha to her husband Hemachud. And this husband Hemachud, he was thinking in terms of enjoyment in life is only the indulgence. And when the wife told one day, she was pretending to be lost, no more interested in anything. So he asked her, that I am observing you, you are so lost. Are you in depression? Has something hurt you? Why you are not taking interest? I come near to you and I hug you, but you are just like a stone idol. What is wrong with you? So she says, no, nothing is wrong, only I am thinking, and that thought has made me uncomfortable. I am lost. What is that? You ladies are dumb. You don't understand simple things. Yes, that's what I am asking you, dear. You please tell me. Men are very intelligent, very wise. Every husband has got this opinion about his wife, but the truth is otherwise. So she said, my problem is that what is dear to us, what is that we like and what is that we don't like. Why there is so much of disparity in this world? Some people like something and the same thing is not liked by other people. Where from the differences in the likes and dislikes have come? So the intelligent husband, he tells, oh, it is so simple. That which gives you happiness you like, and that which doesn't give you happiness you don't like. He said, but this is not a stable rule. This goes on changing. The same object sometimes gives you happiness, sometimes doesn't give you happiness. Example, the heat in the winter is acceptable, but the same heat in the summer is not acceptable. So what is the rule? What is this? And not only the things, but even your state of mind. When you are in a good mood, even the bad things you don't mind. But when you are off mood, even good things irritate you. So what is that? That is what is troubling me. And when he starts telling in this manner, the teacher in her gives a lot of examples. And through those examples, she tells that how come people are enjoying that which is worthy of disgust. And she gives various examples. Food satiation by the vegetarians, the hunger satiation by the non-vegetarians, the carnal pleasures enjoyed by the wise and otherwise the animals and human beings. She gives a number of examples. And all that brings this husband to a point where he becomes stunned. What this lady is telling is true. What I was thinking was totally wrong. And while listening itself slowly, he becomes completely introvert. And as a result of this introvertedness, he is no more able to get involved in any of the worldly things. And as a result, he now starts remaining depressed and dejected and his tragedy is pathetic. His old habits tell him to indulge, but his new wisdom tells him to withdraw. You know the condition, two examples will make it very clear. The condition of a diabetic person and a condition of a, seasoned smoker. So a diabetic person knows very well that this is bad for me. No, I'll take one more tablet. See? So he is indulging but not enjoying, and although not enjoying, therefore suffering, and still indulging. So earlier habits of his, he was trying to withdraw but he could not, and his life becomes most miserable. He started living in a cranky mode all the time. And he even did not go to his wife for months together. And when he did not go for months together, one day he came and wife says, "Honey, darling, what's wrong with you? I have been missing you so much. Where did you disappear? Come." And she goes and hugs him. Now he is still more confused. This was the lady who gave me all the wisdom, and now she behaving like this. What is this? See? In this manner, he becomes more confused and again asks a question. That it is true that what you said, that there is no real joy in the worldly objects or indulgence, but I am not able to get out of it. Therefore, neither I am belonging to the category of the wise or the otherwise. I am hanging in between. So how can I develop a real dispassion? See, please tell me that. In reply to that, the wife, Guru, tells the husband disciple. And she tells, this is only because of our Sangha, our association. And then she tells him another story. I remember how I was corrupted. I was not like this earlier. I'll tell you my own story. See, whenever any instruction or upadesh is given directly, you do this, you do like that, nobody likes it. So, it's indirect way of telling directly. So, she started telling a story. I remember my mom had been extremely pure, immaculate. And I was the daughter of such a great mom. And just to give me a company, my mother gave me a friend. And this friend was also very pure. And we really used to be at peace when we used to play. One day it so happened that my friend, who was given to me by my mother, she came in contact with some bad kind of woman. And slowly her influence started getting so much on my friend that she also started behaving in the same manner, because that bad lady with whom my friend came in contact, she was able and capable of producing many fantasies of life. And as a result, she was involved more and more. And I couldn't leave my friend. And then this lady, the bad lady, she came in contact with another man, and this man was worse. And then from them they produced the child, first child, Mr. Chanchala. And then this Chanchala became so much disruptive and disturbing that he got involved, and then he married another girl called as the Kalpana, the projection, the Sankalpa Shakti. And then they produced children, two of them. One was, the names are given, very angry, and the other was very frustrating, and I could not leave my friends. One day I also was influenced by them, and I started living the same miserable life. When this story was going on and on and on, this king is just listening, and one day it so happened that going from one life to another life, suffering. One day I happened to just keep away from this whole lot of people, and then I discovered peace. And then I was in very close proximity of my friend, and with my friend we were together in absolute close proximity with my mother. And when I came back to my mom, who is without name and form, who has no parents, who is subtler than the subtlest, then I attained peace. And this is the story of so many. I had millions of sisters, thousands of lives I have gone through. When this was said, then this king said, "Hey, you are a very good storyteller. Are you talking about something imagination?" And she tells, "Your story is like that there was a king, and he rode the chariot which was a reflection in a mirror, and he had the reflection he rode, and then he had the instruments of fighting made out of the horns of the human being, and he went and killed the enemies. This has no meaning. What are you talking about?" And when this is said, then she starts. So, tasman, then iti prushta he malekha bhartara priyatarena sa provacha vidushi samyak vijnata loka samstitihi shrunu lakvakshe pravaksham priyatamaha sthira shanta samadarat manohi markata prayam astiram sarva daivatat yataha evam mahanata praptavan prakruto janaha chanchalam manaha sarva dukkha nidhanam drushtamevahi. Listen, why you are not able to understand what I talk is because your mind is not steady. Unsteady mind can never understand anything. And to bring the mind to steadiness, the inner strength is Shraddha, that portion we have already seen. So unless we have Shraddha, faith, we will not be able to understand and bring out the correct meaning. This is such a basic thing, friends. If we do not have faith and Shraddha, first of all, we accept the unknown only on the strength of faith. After we have accepted it, then we should not continue to be blind. We have to apply logic falling in line with the scriptural authority. Otherwise, if we continue to live only on the foundation of faith, and one day if a crack goes in the faith, everything disappears. See? And therefore, she says that to understand all this, first of all, listen, that we have to have a steady mind, because our mind is markata praya, like a monkey. It is constantly jumping from one object to another object, one theme to another theme, and therefore chanchala manaha sarva dukkha nidhanam drushtamevahi. And because of this, our mind is the cause of all the miseries in life. Yataha sushupcho chalana bhavat viddanti vai sukham tasman manaha stharikritya shrunu yatte brahmimyaham. Therefore, when the mind is totally quiet in the deep sleep, we all experience great peace and happiness. Therefore, unless you make your mind steady, you will not be able to understand the meaning of the story I told you. Because you are constantly reacting to every statement that is made by the teacher. And therefore, tasman manaha sthirikritya shrunu. First of all, stabilize your mind and then listen. अनादरेण श्रुतंच भवेत् अश्रुत संमितम अफलम स्यात् अत्यंतम यथा चित्र तरुश्रयः. And if you are listening to whatever I have been telling you, then your listening will be fruitless, like the tree in a picture never gives any kind of fruits. It is only good to look at from a distance. It can never yield you any fruits. In the same manner, when you listen without proper faith, and as Bhagwan Shankaracharya puts, faith, one of the foundation of the spiritual life. शास्त्रस्य गुरुवाक्यस्य सत्यबुद्ध्यावधारणा सा श्रद्धा कथिता सद्भिः यया वस्तु उपलभ्यते. What is said in the scriptures? By scriptures we clearly mean the knowledge given in our Upanishad. There are thousands of scriptures in this world, but all of them are ultimately tying you down to one small thing. See, Upanishadic thought is the ultimate. Therefore, like in Mundukopanishad it comes, Tad Vijnanatham Gurumeva Vigachet Samit Panihi Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. The one who is well read in the scriptures and Brahmanishta, he who is abiding in the Parabrahma Tattva, he alone is the Acharya and he alone will guide us to the truth. Therefore, Anadarena Yashrutam, that which is heard without the Adara, Shraddha, we cannot listen, understand. Anavasthita tarkatvam apahaya vinasharam sattarkamashritya janaha prapnuyat suphalam dhrutam. Therefore, logic is of two types to be understood. One is kutarka and the second is sattarka. Kutarka is that logic by which we deny and reject. And sattarka is that logic which is falling in line with the scriptures and we are trying to accept what is said by the Upanishad. This positive approach to the truth is called as the sattarka. So, sattarka srayana ashu sadhanaika paro bhavet sattarka janitam shraddha prapteha phalabhang naraha. Therefore, our logic should be in line with the scriptures, that is the Upanishad, and those who are having the sattarka, they alone, along with the shraddha, are able to recognize the absolute reality. Therefore, our anavasthita darkantam vihaya loka priya pravrutti metam jagataha shraddhaya phalashyalinim. So, tarka is always anavasthi. Anavasthita means what? One logic can be cut by another logic. The second logic can be cut by third logic. And ultimately we come to a point that nothing remains. And we end up in the shunya. And then again we come to know. But shunya also cannot be proved. Therefore nothing is there. And therefore we end up into absolute void. Absolute void cannot be the ultimate truth. Therefore, सुतर्कितेन कालेन कशर्कः क्षाम विकर्षति श्रद्धया एव तथा रूप्य स्वर्ण रत्न औषधादिकम. It is by the strength of this proper logic only we accept the medicine given by the doctor and the value of the gold, etc. Because it is only on the basis of the shraddha and the sattarka. Therefore, tasmar sutarka shraddhabhyam vyavasya shreya atmanaha. Therefore, these two things are extremely necessary. One is sutarka and second is shraddha. So we start with the faith. Shraddhavan lavate jnanam tatparaha sayyate indriyaha. Bhagavad Gita says we start with the shraddha, the faith, and then to convert what is accepted with the strength of faith and ignorant thing is accepted by us only by application of the proper logic. And when something is logically accepted, then our shraddha will never get destroyed. You must have come across many people. When they go to Ganga, they become Ganga Das. When they go to Yamuna, they become Yamuna Das. And when they come home, they become Devdas. They are not steady anywhere. Because shraddha is lacking. See, friends. Therefore, one has to be firm. very firm. And firm to what? Not to anybody, but to the truth. It is something like, if you see the various politicians throughout the world, they are dedicated to their political party and not to the nation and the welfare of the people. They may say that we are working for the welfare of the country, but their welfare is a farewell to the country and taking care of their own profits and own benefits. And in the same manner, we have to be dedicated to the truth to the exclusion of everything. See? Unless that is done, we shall be again and again going into round and round. Tasma sutarga shraddhabhyam vyavasya shreya atmanah prayateta sadhanaya nahi tarkanavastitehe viramet paurushat yatnat shunganu nara iva. Now here she tells a story. Those who do not have Shraddha and the Tarka, they become blind and they start following. If those who are having only Tarka, they follow only logic and get lost. And those who have got the Shraddha and the logic, they only get established. And then she tells a story. There was a Shunga, and he was very, very extremely intelligent, and he could prove logically anything. And there was a great, a great saint, and he had a number of disciples. And one day, that great saint has gone somewhere. So, in his absence, then this Shunga has come, and this Shunga was able to provide such a logic that because of this logic, nobody was able to follow what they were following earlier. And slowly, the whole population of the disciple was divided into two groups. One group of the population ultimately rejected their teachings of the teacher, and they went and became only logicians and talking only on the strength of logic, and they got destroyed. The other group was following the instruction given by the teacher on the basis of Shraddha, but not blindly following. Be very careful. Shraddha is a blind faith, but the following is not blindly. Get this point. Why Shraddha is a blind faith? Because when we do not know, and when we accept something or somebody, it is a blind faith. It is a blind acceptance. But after we are accepted blindly, now then verify it in your own life. See, in his commentary on Patanjali Yoga Darshan, Veda Vyasji writes in his Bhashya very clearly. What is said in Yoga Shastra, that these are the things happen if you follow the Sanyama perfectly. The teacher says you accept it with Shraddha, but then also apply it in your own life and verify. So Shraddha is acceptance without verification. And for verification, Purushartha is required. Your attempt and your prayatna, efforts are required. Therefore, here it is said, Ataha paramakam shreya etadvai mukhyato bhavet. Therefore, it is necessary that we have to Teshu yas sarvatha sadhyam sadhayat tadhi mukhyakam tat sutarkanubhutibhyam vyavasayashu samarabhe tatte sarvam pravakshami savadhana shrunusvatat. Therefore, sutarka anubhutibhyam. So we accept with the Shraddha, apply the tarka or the logic and come to experience. See the three stages. And by this alone, you will be able to begin your spiritual practice. Now that all I shall tell you, Shrunusvatat, please listen with all sincerity. And with this verse, last time we had concluded, Shreyaha tadhi vijaniyat jasman bhuyo na shochati shokaha sarvata eva syat drushyate sukshmaya drusha yat shokaihi anusambhinnam na tasreyo hi sarvata dharam putra tatha dara rajyam kosho balam yashaha vidya buddhi darshanancha deha saundarya sampataha sarvam etat asthiratvar kala sarva mukhasthitam. So now listen, Shreyaha tadhi vijaniyat yasmat bhujo na shochati. The first thing the teacher says, what is the ultimate that we are all seeking? Shreyas and Preyas, these are the two words which come in Kathopanishad. Every experience of our life can be interacted by one of the two options. One option is we do something whatever we like. And second option is we do something whatever is right. Those who are following the path of what they like and dislike, they are following the path of prayer and ultimately they get destroyed. And those who are following the path of what is right and wrong, they alone ultimately attain the supreme. Therefore, Shreyas is that. Now here the teacher defines Shreyas. What is the Shreyas? Shreyas tadhi vijaniyat yasman bhuyo na shochati. Shreya is that the ultimate good in our life is that we do not have any regrets in our life. This is one of the most foundational statements, friends. Let our life be such that neither there are regrets nor there are guilts accumulated on our mind. A mind carrying the burden of regret and impressions of guilt is the biggest burden that anybody has to carry throughout life. And this guilt and regret, they keep on accumulating as we grow. And in the old age, it is only the guilt and the regret, they are our real companion. And such people are extremely fearful about their own existence. The other day I came across one doctor, very well read doctor and very successful in his practice. And he was telling me, Swamiji, I hear you quite a lot, but one thing I am not able to get out. What is that? I get a fear that I am going to die. He is a doctor. Every day he is killing many. And then immediately I go to the hospital because I am in charge of the hospital. I go to the hospital. And those students who are learning from me, they test me, they see me and they laugh at me. Sir, there is nothing wrong with you. Why you do like this? And then I feel, when my own student tells, then everything is okay with me. Then I come home. Again after coming home after a day or two or three, again I get frantic. I think something is going to happen, there is some pain here. And again I rush there. I don't know how to come out of this fear. See? Once I was in a cancer hospital attending. Then one evening, because those nurses became very good friend of mine. I used to talk to everybody, talk to all the patients. And as a habit, I used to call everybody as Amma. So one nurse, she was a sister, head nurse. So I said, Amma, every day you see so many cancer patients dying here. What thought comes in your mind? Does it sometimes strike that body is so, unsteady, anything can happen to the body, any day we can go away from this world, therefore there is a dispassion and all that. Do you get this kind of thoughts? Hey, I am not fool. See, these kind of thoughts are foolish thoughts, imagine. And I am going to live eternally, others will die, but I will continue to live eternally. This is wisdom. See, friends, this is how we are unable to understand how we are lost in this world. Therefore, then what happens that that because of which no regret or no guilt is accumulated is the spiritual path. See friends, all your external things, achievements and failures have zero value unless you are able to evaluate the quality of your mind. See, we may have a lot of prosperity, lot of things, but if our mind is not at peace with ourselves, we have wasted our life. So here the teacher says, Yash shoka hi anusambhinnam na tashreyo hi sarvatah. That which is the cause of shoka. Shoka is the misery, the regrets, the frustration that cannot lead us to the ultimate good in our life. Now what is that? The wife guru gives a list. Dhanam, putra, tatha, dara, rajyam, kosho, balam, yashaha, vidya, buddhi, darshanancha, deha, saundarya, sampadaha, sarvametad, asthiratvat, kala, sarpa, mukha, sthitam. All these words are common. Dhana, the wealth, putra, the children, then wife, husband, then the prosperity, the kingdom, the money and the strength and your success in life, your knowledge, your intelligence, your logic, your body, your beauty, your prosperity, all of them are asthiratvat. They are never the same. And they are kala sarpa mukhasthitam, as if they are placed in the mouth of a big cobra. Now when the cobra puts the frog in the mouth, it is not meant for after some time I will throw. It is meant for, swallowing. In the same manner, all these things are asthiratvat, shokankura mahashakti bijatmakataya sthitam, kutaha atyantika shreya sadhanatvam samarhati. So these are the shoka ankura mahashakti bijatmakaya. These are the seeds for the sprout of all the miseries in life. And where do you expect happiness and comfort from all these things? Ataha paramakam shreyaha etadvai mukhyato bhavet. Therefore, what could be the real shreyas in our life? Then the teacher says, evam dhanadi vishaye yada yetvatva vibhramaha mohadeva samudbhuto mohakohi maheshwaraha. And all this thing is because of the delusion. The delusion that the worldly things are the source of happiness. It is not right. See, I have been, earlier when I remember we were given the Gayatri Mantra, so chant 11 times. Why 11 times? Do you think I am not capable? I will do 108 times. अपनी औकात पहचानो. No, I will do 108 times. And they started. Om Bhurvusvaha Swaha Tasavitruvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayata. Om Bhurvusvaha Tasavitruvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayata. Om Bhurvusvaha Tasavitruvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Prachodayata. Om Bhurvusvaha Tasavitruvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Prachodayata. Om Bhurvusvaha. Slowly, the mind is very intelligent. Another window was opened. In one window, Om Bhurvusvaha. Another window, I had not washed my clothes for last 3 days. I had to go and wash them. But this water is too cold, They don't provide hot water. What kind of sadhana this is? The third window opens. But there is a time for breakfast, but they give breakfast very late. I am feeling so hungry. And ultimately, there is to be so many windows, and as a result, when you open too many windows, the speed goes down. And this I continued not for a day or two, for 6 months. And one day when it clicked, From that moment, I drop all my japa. I said, to whom I am cheating? See, friends, we have to be 100% aware about the quality of our mind. Doesn't matter external thing, nothing matters. See, like Kenopanisha says, Yan manasana manute yena ahur manomatam tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. Yash chakshushana pashyati yena chakshugamsha pashyati tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. We become so much extrovert and objective in our spiritual practice that we are totally unaware how much chaos is being created in our own mind. See, like many people come and ask us this question. Swamiji, I got one problem. I said, you are lucky? Only one problem? No, that way there are many, but spiritual problem is only one. Very good. What is the spiritual problem? I have already taken too many, rules on myself. Then I had to chant Rama, then Krishna, and then Hanumanji, and then Devi, and then Gayatri, and then Santoshi Mata, and then Ekadashi, and then blah, 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 blah. And that takes my 2-3 hours every day. And I am not able to study. Suppose I stop doing all that, then also the mind is totally disturbed. And sometimes I get confused whether I finish Ganapati mantra and then Shiva mantra and then Krishna mantra and then which is first, which is second, and I get so disturbed. What should I do? I said, I will tell you that you will not do what I tell you. You are sufficiently chaotic inside. You have to yourself recognize. Nobody can help you. See, give highest value to the spiritual practice that our mind is at peace with ourselves. That is the highest spiritual practice. It doesn't matter thereafter. And such a mind at peace is the ultimate goal. If that is recognized, then we will think about the spiritual practice. See, I'll give another example, my own example. Many years before it happened. Initially, like everybody, I was also having that funny notion, I should have Bhagavan Krishna's darshan and all that, Bhagavan should come, lag, 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 lag. And all the time, then concentrate on Om Sri Krishna Sharanam, Sri Krishna Sharanam, Sri Krishna Sharanam, Sri Krishna Sharanam. And confusion whether the outside or inside or outside. Inside and outside is an illusion. There is nothing like inside and outside. It is not a reality. See, now I am inside and you are outside. And if we all sleep together, then my legs will be on your face and your hand will be in my pocket. Nobody will know. See, then where is what? Yet in the initial stages we get carried away by this objectivity on the spiritual path. So, when I happened to hear Swami Akhandanji, and that time he was, towards the conclusion of his life, when this particular thing happened. So he had a cancer of his large intestine and he had no control. Like a cow going, he used to drop his feces. So we used to walk behind him with what I call a lot of cotton and immediately clean it, otherwise things become dirty. And we will put him on the seat and he will start his lecture. And when I saw the crowd, mic is not functioning, people are talking, old people, somebody will come, put chandan on his forehead, somebody will come, put mala, somebody do namaskar to him, somebody will put a peppermint apple on his book, something like that, and nothing will disturb him. Nothing. And when I came more and more in contact with him, those who were with him, they used to tell and I have myself observed, nobody has seen him any time disturbed on any issue. See, nothing in the world could disturb him. That day, I told Kanhaiya, sorry, I don't want to look at you. See, friends, instead of we struggling to see him, let him find us a fit instrument so that he functions through us. So all our spiritual practice is remaining as a fit instrument. And what is that instrument? The mind. If our mind is not at peace with ourselves, we cannot be at peace with the whole world. And for that, prayatna kartavyaha. So all our spiritual practice is working on the mind. We have to work on the mind, not on the world. The world is beautiful. There is nothing that we can do about the world. See, the other day, who asked me somewhere in India, one of my friend is a very big Mahamandaleshwar, and he was installed in a big ashram by his guru. So, and they have got ashram throughout the world. He asked me, Swamiji, you should have your ashram. I asked him, Maharajji, whose ashram is this? Swamiji, of course it is your ashram. Then why should I have? Whose is this? No, that is all true, but why don't you have? I said, I am not arguing with you. What you are doing is perfectly right. But as regards I am concerned, I am very convinced about this thing. Where is Rama's Ayodhya? Where is Krishna's Dwarka? See, anything in this world that is subject to the influence of time is not worthy of pursuit. See, friends, nothing. Even the very thought of it, see within what peace we are at. Then what is all life? All life is only time pass, so that we bypass the time. We don't have to achieve anything in this world. See, Ananya Shintayanto Mam Ye Jana Pariyupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. Devotion tells that he who is dedicated to me, I take care of him. So, when he is taking care, why worry? See, and that Purushartha, the teacher tells, Evam Dhanadi Vishaye Yada Etadva Vibhramaha Mohadeva Samudbhuto Mohakohi Maheshwara Johi Sarva Jagat Karta Tasma Sarvehi Mohitaha. Therefore, it is out of the delusion that we are giving undue importance to the worldly things with possession and worldly people with relations. We are caught up with the world of things in possessiveness, and we are caught up with the worldly people in relational bondage. He who has understood this, thus the possessiveness and the relational bondage, where it is discarded, the mind is at peace. See, friends, it is okay for you, you are a Babaji, but we are married, we have got children, we have to marry them, what should we do? Do everything, don't run away, but don't be miserable. That is the only thing we are no expert in. See, we are not asking you anything. See, our great saint, Nisargadatta Maharaj, he has also tremendous influence in my life. Shraddha, what is Shraddha? From him I learned. His Shraddha was Only first time and the last time he went for satsanga with his friend, and when he heard there that we are essentially divine, thereafter when satsang was over, he started reflecting on that. I am a shopkeeper. A shopkeeper tells lies to the people to earn money. Without your speaking lies, you cannot earn money. He said, this Mahatma, he has come, given his kirtan satsanga and gone away without expecting anything from us, and he told us that you are Parabrahma Paramatma. What will he get by telling me lies? If he tells me that you are a miserable fellow, then I will go to him and then he will be benefited. But he told that you are yourself the absolute reality. What will he get? He will not get anything. So why should he tell lies? Therefore, although at this moment I don't have the experience, yet it has to be true. And then he was totally dedicated to this. See, friends. Therefore, in satsanga we have no expectation of any kind from anyone in the world. See, friends. Therefore, here, Mohadeva Samudbhuto Mohagohi Maheshwaraha. This whole thing is just born out of sheer delusion, and the delusion is created by the great dramatist called as Maheshwaraha. Bhagwan has created this world for a time pass. See, friends, please understand this basic thing. All the questions about life, if you want to sort them out by one reply, one sentence reply, then one sentence reply is, this world is a Krishna Leela or Rama Leela. What is a Leela or a drama? Leela or a drama is that where everything appears to be happening, but nothing is happening. See, the other day I received one PowerPoint, and there they are shown pictures, imaginary of course, and the proportion. Earth of the size of a football and the moon of the size of a tennis ball, and other planets smaller. Second slide. The sun of the size of a football, earth of the size of a tennis ball, and other planets is small. After 2-3 things, then it is said, earth looks to the size of 1 pixel. On that 1 pixel, India. In that India, Pune. In that Pune, this Shivaji Rao Peshwe road. On that road, my Bangalore. And in that Bangalore, my property. Do you know, Swamiji, one person asked me this question. How much my drawing room will cost? I said, if you ask me sincerely, I have never purchased anything, therefore everything is free for me. No, Swamiji, this costs 3 crores. So when he told me this costs 3 crores, and there was one transparent globe also there. So I asked him, I said, hey, what is that, yaar? I had never seen that. Come, I'll explain you. People have, these are called discussion pieces, because they have nothing to talk except the pieces, because they are not at peace. So he went to that discussion piece and started, this is globe. I said, what is the meaning of a globe? Means the whole earth, Only this much, this is a model. I said, very good. Now in this, which is the water and which is the sea? This is transparent is the water and this thing is the earth. Very good. Now our India is also there. Of course, the nation is India. And where are we? We are in Maharashtra, this Maharashtra. Then in Maharashtra, Pune, this Pune. I said, I am not a pixel. I am not 1 KB. See, I am a gigabyte. how much we get lost in this world. How many have come, stayed and gone. But we feel konyosti sadrusho maya. Therefore, Mohadeva samudbhutaha. This whole is the game of Moha, the delusion, and the creator of this delusion is, if you are following the path of Vaishnava, then Krishna Leela, Rama Leela. If you are following the path of Shaivaism, then it is the Shiva Leela. And it makes no difference what name you give. It is only Vellam Kundwa. It makes no difference. See? So, Mohadeva samudbhuto moha kohi maheshwaraha yohi sarva jagat karda tasma sarvehi mohitaha. And this Maheshwara is the one who is the creator of this world. Therefore, everyone in this world is deluded. Mohayati akalpakopiha vidya bhaga samasrayat kaschidevana sarvan na jasmad vidya hisa mita. Alpa vidyam mayinascha api anukranta janayataha mahadeva mahamayam kaha samukrantumarhati. Now, all these people who are ignorant, even by the ordinary magicians, they get so fascinated and all that. But that ordinary magician is not able to influence those who are knowing the tricks of that magician. And how they know the tricks of the magician? They serve him, they give him money, and they learn from him. And the same play of magic may be influencing the ignorant, but not the student who has learned magic from his guru. In the same manner, those who are dedicated to the Lord Maheshwara, for them this moha, this delusion will never operate on them. And therefore, sahi moha nirgataha swastaha sukham apnoti anashwaram. Such a person who is not functioning under the influence of the delusion, he alone can attain anashwaram sukham, that bliss which is never corrupted by any point, any reason. That uncorrupted bliss is the one which is our essential nature. Therefore, evam vidhapi vidya tavanashritte tu mayinam na labhya sarvatha yavad prasadya tu sarvatha. So, this vidya of magic we get from the ordinary magician by giving something, and when he comes to know that really he is interested, only to him he will tell. And the ordinary magician is able to recognize the dedication of his disciple after many years. But the Mahadeva, the Maheshwara, he is able to know who is his devotee, and such a devotee is not influenced by the Maya or the Moha created by the Maheshwara. See, one story I read very beautiful. There was a pond, big pond or a lake, and in that lake there were many fish living. One day, one person went to catch the fish. So he got into the lake, and then one fish told others, "Hey, don't run, stay here, nothing will happen." No, you are lazy, therefore you are saying like that, we are going to run away. So they ran away, but one intelligent fish remained at the feet of that person who was catching the fish, the fisherman. So when he threw the net, all those fish who have gone away from him, they were caught. And that one fish which remained at the feet of that fisherman remained untouched. If we are devoted and totally in tune with the divine will, there cannot be any influence of moha or shoka in our life. To say that I am a devotee of the Lord and to remain miserable is contradiction in terms. It cannot be. Because who is a devotee? Devotee is the one who has stopped giving votes. He doesn't vote in favor of the world. For him, everything is Paramatma. Everything that happens in our life, if it is attributed to the Paramatma, then we will never become miserable. We become miserable only because we have forgotten His will and we want the things to happen according to our will. It can never happen. Therefore, every event of our life is a kind of a rocket which is fired so that we can change the direction of our life. So every event of our life is meant for changing the direction of our life. See? But if we get influenced by the event and don't change the direction of our life, we can never walk the spiritual path. Therefore, it is so important that we are able to walk this path with this understanding. So, after this is done, then what are the type of moha, how we get lost in this and do not become dedicated to the Lord. Tasman mahamairam tam aprasadya katham bhavet mahamohasya taranam tasmat tam sarvatha ashrayet. Therefore, all the spiritual practices going beyond the moha, and the moha can be transcended when we are dedicated to the divine, and yataha prasadayet samyak tasya prasadataha mahavidyam samtan mohan dhruvam utkranti meshati. Therefore, only that which will work on our mind, we are no more functioning as the reactions of the mind, but we are living under the light of wisdom, born out of faith and proper inquiry. Then only we are walking the spiritual path. In the earlier chapters we have seen avichara kruto bandhaha vicharena vinashati. All the bondage is born out of avichara. Avichara is not absence of thought, but is incomplete thinking. And incomplete thinking is only about the incomplete things. About Paramatma, there cannot be incomplete thinking. In this manner, tasmat taranam moha sarvatha ashrayet. And it is for this purpose we have to ultimately go beyond the moha. And this is possible only by tasya prasadataha, by the grace of the Lord, by the grace of the Ishvara. Now, there are more topics in this. We'll see it in our next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.